Assalamualaikum and greetings to everyone present. I will be presenting about my research proposal, climate change and its impact on marine species migration at Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. So, a little background study on what I'm studying. I'm studying the climate change. Climate change is periodic alteration of Earth's climate caused by changes in atmosphere and their interaction with other biological, chemical, geologic, and geographic variables. So climate is average weather in certain locations that take into account factors like temperature, humidity, precipitation, and windiness. So, climate scientists have been studying climate change since mid 20th centuries, and they find out that the Earth climate has always changed since practically the beginning of geologic timescale. But humans have caused climate change to worsen since industrial revolution and causes global warming. So there have been cases of rising ocean temperature because of this. So marine species most observed ecological response to climate change is their shift in distribution, which means their migration pattern change. Environmental changes causes fish to adjust their latitudinal and depth range. A study already done at Kota Kinabalu suggests that from 2000 to 2010, fish distribution is irregular every month but steady for the year, minus for some species. But fish distribution actually changed with monsoon seasons, with largest fish landing ever are on southwest monsoons. So ongoing climate change may have an impact on fish landings in. So according to my research on literature that will support this study, uh, climate change have a very big impact on seawater. They cause physical change like rise in ocean temperature, sea level, ocean acidification, and increased water salinity. When ocean temperature rise, fish species become extinct or are forced to migrate to a cooler water zone. So that's problem because their distribution will decrease. And sea level rise because when climate change happens, it's hotter, so the ice at the glacier melts, and that causes sea level rise. While carbon dioxide it calcifies structure growth, autoliv development, and impair fertilization success, and that will have direct consequences on overall organisms because it disturbs their reproduction. While salinity increase have bad impact on phytoplankton. They are the main source of food. They are the primary source of food. So if the phytoplankton is impacted, all the other creatures of the higher tropic will be impacted too, and it will destroy the ecology. And this lead to biological changes, which include changes in fish stock distribution and also, like I said before, change in primary productions. But it also comes with a benefit. Apparently, some species can tolerate higher temperature and higher salinity. Apparently, half-baked species from the coast of America can withstand higher temperature than most fishes, and also can withstand higher salinity. So, when temperature water increase, the temperate fish will all live, but subtropical fish will can't because they can withstand the temperature. But despite this benefit, climate change is still bad because uh, it affects the lower trophic levels too. So the whole big species might be the predator, but they will lack food, and they will eventually have the need to migrate too, despite can withstand the increasing temperature. However, climate change is not the only thing impacting fish migration. There are also additional factors which are anthropogenic limitations, which include habitat degradations, water contamination, and fishing activities. For habitat degradation, remember when I said that half-big species can tolerate changes, but according to fishermen of Brazil northeastern coast, uh, half-big species at a middle is almost extinct because humans destroyed their habitats in the 90s. So, for water contamination, runoff from factory or sewage can cause algal bloom, which leads to less bio-oxygen chemical demands and calf dead zone. And for fishing activities, overfishing can also cause less fish spawning. Now, with all that in mind, let's take a look at distribution in Kota Kinabalu. According to previous research, fish from Kota Kinabalu arrive from three different habitats, which are pelagic, reef, and demersal. So their number fluctuate from 2000 to 2010, but from 2006 to 2009, there's a slight increase, which is thanks to the changing atmosphere. Higher end temperature promotes rainfall eventually, and when rainfall occur, distribution increase too because freshwater runoff during rain stimulate recruitments because more food available from freshwater comes to their spawning spot. So when air temperature increase, water temperature also increase. They are closely related. So how do I justify why this study has to be done? Well, you see, uh, in the market, fish price differs according to how available they are in the market. So it's very important to learn what affect their spawning, what affect their migration. So causes of fish landing, according to Ho, have not been thoroughly studied yet. And it is possible that climate change and anthropogenic activities like fishing are the biggest causes of their distribution. So what studies had been done in other places, a study that specifically tackled this topic has not been done yet in Malaysia because so this research can really help in fisheries management and probably helps new research to come that tries to tackle this topic. With that being said, the objective of this study is to find out the influence of climate change on the variability of fish landing or migration in Kota Kinabalu and to identify additional factors that can influence the fish landing. Our study site is the western coast of Sabah, South China Sea. So our study will use collected data from Sabah Meteorological Department, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, and Fisheries Department. The first data we will collect is meteorological data. Second is sea surface temperature. And finally, fish landing data. So for the data analysis, we will highlight species with landing more than 1,000 tons and classify them based on their habitat before analyzing them and against meteorological parameters. So our expected outcome is there might be low fish landing if the temperature is lower because as mentioned in literature review, when the temperature is higher, there will be increase in rainfall and the higher the fish landing will happen because there will be more food available coming from the estuary or river caused by the washing and outwelling caused by high winds because of monsoon season will speed up the availability of food. So this is the Gantt chart that we will use as our schedule for the case study. Literature review will be done until the end of the study and staffing will need to be done to identify who can help with this program like assistants and data collection will take a while because we need to use data collected from a body and after that there will be normal procedure from data management until the final thesis submissions. So thank you very much for watching.